welcome to another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
I got to tell you, this whole all-black thing that you're wearing today, spectacular.
Thank you.
You look like a college co-ed, and I really like it, especially with the black denim jean jacket.
Okay. Thanks. I don't know what to say about that.
You usually mock me a little for talking about the fashion report when I do that, but you look beautiful.
Thank you.
I especially love the earrings that are dangly so I can see them below your headphones.
I generally don't wear big, crazy earrings anymore. I like a simpler style. But today, I don't know, I had a different jacket on. The earring matched the buttons on the jacket perfectly, and then I changed because I got frustrated.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with clothing.
Okay. Well, I have a love-love relationship with you. It's time for news. The Israel-Hamas war continues in Gaza today, while anti-Jewish and anti-Muslim rhetoric continues to build. It's prompting security concerns in a few major American cities. That is hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are attempting to flee Gaza currently. The situation at the Gaza-Egypt border is still tense, with the Rafah border crossing remaining closed. Hundreds of thousands of refugees are reportedly holed up there, right there at the border.
Well, it's okay. Ron DeSantis is going to save them all.
Well, he did have some refugees come into Tampa yesterday.
He certainly used it as a great, what do you call that?
Marketing tool?
Photo op, yeah.
Absolutely. Closer to home, a 6-year-old Muslim boy living with his parents in Illinois has been stabbed to death by his landlord. 71-year-old Joseph Zuba stands accused of stabbing the child 26 times at his Plainfield, Illinois home. The boy's mother, who is expected to survive, was stabbed more than a dozen times. Zuba's charged with first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and 2 counts of committing a hate crime.
I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't have anything pithy or fun to say about that story. It's shocking that people are taking their sentiment and attacking other people.
Do we know for sure that's what it was?
Allegedly, that's what was said during the skirmish.
That's blackout rage, though.
Yeah.
That many stab wounds. That's like something snapped in that dude's head.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to speculate on his mental state. Because,
I'll do it.
Because
this is a podcast. I can say whatever I want to.
He's clearly crazy, but is he criminally crazy? I don't know is the answer. Iconic American comedic actress and entrepreneur Suzanne Summers dies one day before her 77th birthday. Family members who were on hand during Summers' final hours on Sunday say after a more than 23-year battle with invasive breast cancer, the actress, possibly best known for her role as Chrissy Snow in the sitcom Three's Company, succumbed to the disease. Summers was also a prolific author and an anti-aging advocate.
This is very sad for me.
Yeah, you've got a few of her books at home.
Yeah, I can kind of credit her and her books and her interest in holistic medicine with, feeding some of my interest in holistic medicine. And I want to be clear, though, she did battle her cancer over the last 23 years through both traditional and non-traditional
It's
methods.
not like she refused to have surgery or refused to have traditional treatment. She just also sought homeopathic treatments. Right.
And so, but yeah, if you haven't read her books, they're great and really eye-opening and interesting. The one that I have, I don't recall the title of it right now. The one that I've read the most is interview after interview after interview of doctors who at the time were kind of on the cutting edge of anti-aging and living longer and all that kind of thing when it was kind of a brand new idea. Now it's pretty commonplace for people. Sure. But anyway.
Yeah.
Very sad.
On a much lighter note, the trailer or swelsey rumors continue to heat up after a whirlwind weekend by the couple. Taylor Swift's self-released concert film opened Thursday. It's already the highest grossing concert film of all time. The couple spent much of the weekend in New York City, where they appeared briefly on Saturday Night Live and were seen on the street by onlookers. To the dismay of Swifties, though, Travis Kelce capped off the weekend by attending his brother's football game Sunday at the Jets without Taylor Swift. Incidentally, the New York Jets beat the Philadelphia Eagles 20-14 in that game. And that's what's happening.
Okay. Yeah, I find it really interesting, the people who are mad
that she didn't show up at a game.
No. People that are mad about the coverage.
Oh, well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I mean,
the NFL ain't mad about it.
Nobody cares about their stupid blah, 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 blah. Clearly, people do.
Yes, they do. They definitely do. And if you don't believe it, there were copious newscasts Monday morning about how disappointed people were that went to the Jets game hoping to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift, and she wasn't there.
They should have paid closer attention, because not long after 3 p.m., there were photos of him leaving her apartment in New York by himself.
Right.
So let's be smarter. Obviously, she wasn't going.
I don't know many people who follow it so closely that they would have followed the media accounts of him leaving her apartment.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Get on board.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever.
I think it's sweet. I think it's sweet and cute, and they're like America's sweetheart couple right now. And you know what? Can't we use that? Can't we all just use a happy story right now?
Well, I think all of us are using it, right? It was a huge 9-minute long skit on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
It was all over the world that Taylor Swift made a surprise appearance and introduced Ice Spice during one of her performances on Saturday Night Live. I mean, it was an interesting deal. It's really fun to watch. And if we're coughing a little bit today, I was super sick over the weekend, and I think you're catching it now that I'm on the way.
I know that's terrible. I know it's terrible for y'all to listen to, and I apologize, but yeah, I don't know what else to do.
My vocal quality's not at its best today. I sound a little nasally.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're just talking about silly stuff anyway.
Well, I don't know that we're talking about silly stuff. The state of the world is important, and the state of your world is important, Londa.
Excuse me. I mean, the whole Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing, I think, is fun because, you know, it's hopeful, and it's fresh, and it's fun and flirty, and I mean, come on.
Well, and
love it.
It's great cross promotion.
Yeah.
Her movie opened last week, had the highest ticket sales of any concert film ever, and it started Thursday, right? And ran Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
She is a great self-promoter and is changing the way movie studios are involved in films. Here's the deal. This is the first concert movie ever to fully cut out the studios. Typically, I was doing a little research this morning. Typically, studios make about $10 on average per ticket of movie sales.
Okay.
And, you know, people who have movie theaters make most of their money on the hospitality, the refreshments inside, you know, that kind of thing, right?
The $20 popcorn.
This girl is such a strong negotiator that she called up AMC and said, hey, guys, listen, I don't want to give $10 a ticket away to the studios. How about you and I split it and we distribute it together without a studio? Right. And AMC was like, heck yeah. So they're splitting the ticket sales money that would have gone to studios. So if something like an independent movie theater chain like the Fairchild is also airing it, you know what I mean? They're paying what would go to studios, $10 a ticket, directly to Taylor and AMC. And I think she's getting 57% of that money.
Smart.
And they're getting 43%.
Smart.
I'm telling you now, It makes perfect sense. Studios weren't involved in the filming of it. They weren't involved with the distribution of it, and they're not making a penny from it.
Love her or hate her, she's a brilliant business person. And the same could be said about Suzanne Summers.
Yeah. It's never happened before. Independent films are called independent films because often studios are left out. But ultimately, at the distribution end, they get their piece of the pie, and they buy it for distribution rights. Well, this... Nope. Sorry, studios. Out. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's interesting. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
If you gave me your cold, I'm going to be so mad at you.
Well, it's not really a cold. I was bitten by a capuchin monkey on Friday.
That's not true. You had a head cold.
On Friday, I was bitten by a monkey, and
David,
it all went downhill.
You're not a good patient.
No, I'm terrible.
Like bad.
Yeah. I openly weep. And I can't sleep when I'm sick.
And you're grumpy.
That's right.
And you spread your germs all over the place because we had things we had to do this weekend. And I apologize. For anybody who's listening, if you saw us this weekend, I apologize for it.
Well, it didn't get really, really bad until Saturday night. Saturday night.
That's true.
It turned into full-blown AIDS.
I don't think we can say that anymore.
I think we can. And as you say, this is a podcast and we can say whatever we want.
Okay. Yes, I can say whatever I want. I had a great weekend. Not that you asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
How was your weekend?
It was great. I had a good work weekend. I worked a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
I did a couple of open houses. As you know, I'm a real estate agent.
Right. Right.
So I did a couple of open houses, and I taught a class a couple weeks ago on how to do an open house,
right?
How to, improve your success in your open houses.
Sure.
And I'll be damned if this wasn't a great example of it, because on the face of it, they looked like not great open houses. Saturday, I had one couple come through. That's it. Sunday, I had one nosy neighbor. Which is fine. I love that. They already love the neighborhood,
right, and
know the neighborhood. So I want them to come through, look at it, and tell their friends and family.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. And then I had one other guy.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So you would think, that's not a well-attended open house, right? Well, the attendance doesn't matter as much as the capture, right? So the neighbor came in, walked around, went out, right? Just really quick.
Right.
Didn't engage. I always talk about play ball with the people who want to play ball with you. So when you say hello to somebody, this is good for any business owner. Somebody walks in your storefront or whatever, you say hello to them, you greet them in whatever way that you greet them.
Right.
If they're cold and distant, give them space.
Okay. That's
They
good
don't want to
advice.
play ball.
You definitely want to greet them within a certain amount of time from them coming through the door. That's important.
Yeah.
And you use the analogy, you toss a ball to somebody, and if they catch it and toss it back, they're your people, and they want to play ball.
Right. So they didn't, the neighbors, so that was fine. Go ahead. Let me know if you have any questions, kind of thing. But right behind them walked in this guy, and and I greeted him. He talked back to me. I talked back. He talked back, and now we're playing ball.
Right.
And it was just great. The couple that came through on Saturday, neither of the couples, I'm going to call them, were represented by anybody.
Right.
Both had questions. Both wanted more information. In fact, the couple that came through Saturday, as you know, because you were with me on Saturday.
Right. I'm a lender, so I like to go to open houses whenever I'm invited by realtors.
I scheduled an appointment right after the open house to go do a walkthrough of their house so that I can get them an idea of a value range on their house because they're looking to kind of downsize. So,
and what an interesting property that was. It's a duplex. They have a big shop behind it. I mean, what a cool place.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really cool. And then actually both couples are looking to downsize, which is why they came into my open house.
Right.
So there's a tip if you're a realtor, Go talk to your people that might be looking to downsize.
And definitely talk to them about their home's value, because people don't know how much wealth they're sleeping in.
Right.
You know, you've said for years that a house is a savings account that you can sleep in. Well, that's absolutely true. And in the market we are in presently, right now, in Tri-Cities, Washington, which is where this studio is, the market since 2019 has appreciated on average $150,000 per home.
Right.
That's an average number. Some have appreciated more. Some, of course, have appreciated less, but the average is $150,000. And if you bought your house in 2019, you probably feel pretty connected to the home's value because it was only 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. So in your brain, you probably have no idea. Right. Unless you've been shopping for a home or trying to refinance to pay off debt, you probably have no idea how much more wealth you have than you had before.
Right.
And if that is your situation, you need to call 509-438-3125. That's my phone number, 509-438-3125. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. If you need more information from me, just go to listwithlonda.com.
That's great.
And you can get all my information there. But so we did the walkthrough of their property, and I'm putting some numbers together for them. Well, it's already done. But and then the guy that came on Sunday, we had such a great conversation and had so many connection points. You know, they're empty nesters and they're da-da-da-da-da.
Sure.
And as it turns out, he's also an investor.
Well, that's good news.
He's got 3 properties now. He's always looking for more.
A player's going to play.
That's the thing, you know, and he was fascinated when I was telling him about the parts of the market that are moving.
Right.
First-time home buyers, luxury buyers, and investors.
Yep.
And so he was really interested by that. He was like kind of motivated by the nerd stuff like I am, the facts and figures and numbers. And so it was an easy conversation, right? Anyway, so I just think that's really great. And I'm excited about that. And now I've got a couple of great leads that I'm following up on today. I was going to do it yesterday. I wasn't feeling great though. By the time I got home from the open house, put the signs away and all that, I was just like dead. But this morning, got them all done. The other person, though, that I made a presentation for, and this is a great story, so pay attention. This is just lends itself to the whole opportunity is everywhere idea, and tell people who you are and what you do, no matter where you are. People often don't say it because they don't want people to think something of them. Well, I want people to think of me. Period. Whether it's good or bad, I want them to think of me. You know, when anyway. So we went in to get balloons to go on the open house signs. And the guy that was blowing up our balloons said, so what are you doing today? And we started talking. Well, we're doing this open house. I'm a realtor. He's a lender. Oh, wow. Power couple, huh? So I was like, yeah, pretty much. This is kind of what we do and who we are and what we do and whatnot. And so I'm doing a home valuation for his girlfriend as well, who, you know, is curious about maybe selling her condo. So, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is I hesitate to toot my own horn, you know what I mean? But the truth is I do have good skill set, which is why I train other realtors as well.
Yeah.
I got a long history of successful sales and marketing and training.
Sure.
Working behind me. So it's okay to toot my horn a little bit. But also when you're looking for opportunity, it comes, right?
That's exactly
Whatever you're
right.
looking for, that's what you're going to find. So if you think that your job is really hard and nobody wants to work with you, then you're right. And if you think that everything comes to me so easily and everyone wants to work with me, then you're right.
Yeah. You attract what you believe, right? If you believe the world is a dark, sad, violent place, you'll see all the darkness, all the sadness, and all the violence.
Absolutely.
If you believe the world is a shiny opportunity in front of you, you'll see shiny opportunities in front of you. It's magic. It's the reticular activating system. We talk about it all the time.
It is. It's the growth mindset. versus a fixed mindset.
Right.
It's all that stuff.
Yeah.
I sent you something earlier this morning that I actually found it last week when I was going through my files. It's called the Ninja Prayer.
Right.
And it's really written for salespeople, particularly in the real estate industry. And if you've ever, if you know anything about ninja selling, if you've ever gone to their training or bought the book or anything like that, you might already be familiar with this. And I don't have it in front of me, but Google the Ninja Prayer, and that for ninja selling. And it's just such a powerful little, not quite one page affirmation. So good. Are you going to Google it right now?
I'm going to do that.
You're
yeah.
so smart. The Ninja Prayer.
I can either Google it or I can pull up the text where you sent it to me.
Well, Google it because your text has other texts and nope.
That's,
Stop now.
okay.
Get out of your text. I'm just saying, babe, you do not want to bring up. Oh my God. You just pulling up our text messages in public for the whole world to see. Think about that for a minute, sir. Okay. The Ninja Prayer. No, that's a Facebook page.
Yeah, but it may have the prayer on it. Here it is. See? I'm not as dumb as I look.
Over 2 pages.
Do you want to get near your microphone and read a little of it? I give thanks for this day, and I awaken grateful. It goes on and on and on. Do you want me to talk about it or not? I won't.
I would love to read it.
Well, go ahead.
Well, if I can see it.
Here are some glasses if you need them.
I give thanks for this day, and I awaken grateful, giving thanks for this life and for my place in it. As I begin brand new this day, I give thanks for the breath that breathes and sustains me. I begin with an attitude of gratitude, and I give thanks for the infinite opportunities that are available to me. For I know that as I rise, I am enough. And today I release all fear, all doubt, and all separation. I move into this day grounded in the absolute truth. I'm guided by the infinite intelligence that lives within me, and I powerfully co-create this day. God, I love that. Today I begin with a profound sense of understanding and clarity. I know that my consciousness is a gift, and I transform. What does that say?
I transform solutions, maybe? Solutions, salutations. I don't know. It curves. The picture of it curves, and it's harder to see. Oh, but wait. I just made it bigger. I know that my conclusion...
My consciousness is a gift, and I transform situations by way of my beingness. I move through this day fully embracing the strength and the power that lie within me. I give thanks for the opportunities disguised as challenges, for I absolutely know they will allow me to use my wisdom, my kindness, and my intelligence. There's no situation or obstacle that moves me from this path of least resistance. I meet each meeting, each transaction, and each closing as an opportunity to bring my authentic self to be fully engaged and inspired. I negotiate with purpose, inviting the highest and best outcome for all those involved, knowing that creative solutions, positive communication, and masterful ideas are my art and my craft, and it is good. I give thanks for these experiences that continue to nurture and grow me. For each day I become more and more of who I've come here to be. How wonderful it is to know that there is no one and no thing that stands between me and my highest truth and vision. Today I stand grounded in this awareness, and I recognize that life is always conspiring for my greater good. I find balance in all that I do. There's enough time, enough energy, and enough resources for all of my dreams and desires. As I create this day, I choose well in all my endeavors. I release this word and give thanks for all I have, for all that I am, and for all that I'm becoming. I'm successful. I am powerful. I am ninja.
I love that. Love it.
And
really cool.
If you stuck with us through that, I hope that you can feel the power of those words. I have it, when I found it last week, I put it up on the wall next to my desk, and I remembered, oh yeah, I used to have this up, at my desk. And I have started every morning reading it out loud because it's just me in there, and even if it wasn't, I probably would anyway. And it reminds you of all of those things. Like it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
I love how it describes how you actually do live your life, too. You're certain that negotiating is your strength and that you're going to negotiate the highest and best outcome for all involved. I mean, every word of it is how you live your life.
It resonates pretty deeply with me. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't resonate with you, then go find something that does, that's
Right.
equally as powerful. You know, I was looking at my TikToks. I was taking a break from what I was doing this morning and looking at TikTok. And I realized a lot of my TikTok is like motivational stuff,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And so I was getting jazzed, I was getting all pumped up. And then, of course, it's also, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce talk. I'm for sure on that train. And so I did see the pictures of them from their weekend, right? There's one in particular where they get out of the car and you can see, because somebody who's crazy zoomed in on it, you can see a little bit of red in his mustache, and then you can see when you zoom in that her lipstick's a little smudged. Ooh, kissing. Yeah.
That's cute, hon.
I think it's adorable.
I think it's adorable,
I
too.
love love.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I love love. I love positivity. I had a great therapy session. Was it last night? Night before?
I don't know. With whom?
With you.
Oh, our kind of conversational therapy. It's not, I'm no licensed therapist.
No. But we had a long conversation.
Yeah.
That got real deep.
I think that was Saturday night.
I think it was Saturday night as well. And it was so good. I often say being married to you is like being in therapy full time, because we do communicate about everything.
Yeah.
I know marriages where, like, especially second marriages, or I should say multiple marriages, right? Second, third, fourth, whatever you're on. Sometimes they have rules where they can't talk about their previous partners or previous marriages or previous stuff, right? That's pretty common.
If you have rules like that, though, you can't work through problems that will persist in future relationships.
Right.
All of the information has to be on the table.
Right.
And, there can be no rules surrounding what's
Right.
appropriate conversation, because then you can't truly work through your problems.
Right. And you're so good at that, just holding space for me to feel however I'm feeling, letting me talk about how I feel.
And sometimes, I'll be honest, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
for
course.
everyone involved.
Yes.
But it's necessary.
Right.
And you and I had those uncomfortable conversations while we were hiking for 6 months while working together as lender and realtor.
Right.
And most of those uncomfortable conversations didn't feel uncomfortable until about July of that year. And suddenly something was different about the tenor of those talks to me. And I don't know what happened, but
you fell in love.
Maybe, but I didn't believe it because, you're so far out of my station. You're so high above me.
That's true.
It's crazy. That song, You're So High Above Me, like Cleopatra and Joan of Arc. I can fully relate to the lyrics of that song.
Okay.
It's a little pop ditty.
Well, I would say just around that I would encourage you to have the uncomfortable conversations as couples, as friends, as, with your clients, with your customers. The uncomfortable conversation always turns into a deepening of the relationship.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think there's something special about somebody who can hold space for someone who is struggling with their emotions,
right?
Yeah. And so, and I'm not dancing around the meat of the conversation for any, real reason.
It's just not.
It just doesn't need to be.
Yeah, it's not
shared.
a thing. It's not a thing.
You can come ask me, I guess, if you want to know. But
she's not vague booking here and putting something out publicly.
No.
We were having a conversation about our interpersonal relationships.
I'll say this. I'm thrilled to be where I am in life, and I'm still pretty angry and bitter about some things that happened in my past.
Yeah.
I'll say that part.
Yeah.
That much.
And it's interesting when we talk about it because I don't feel that way.
Right.
Right? So that's what's interesting to me, because I don't understand that emotional
Gosh, I think it goes
stuff.
to some of the stuff we were talking about perspective and what you think about, how you view the world is how the world is.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of my life I have felt ripped off.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
Like just a little bit screwed over and a little bit ripped off. And I think that was built into my DNA.
I got you.
You know, because my mom was a lot that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just interesting, right? I don't even know what I'm trying to say today. And I don't even know how to categorize this particular podcast.
Well, yeah, listen, here's how to categorize it. If you leave space for people to open up to you and you don't put boundaries around it, you'll have deeper, closer relationships, right? That's an important thing. And that's true in your sales process as well. You know, the ninja prayer that you just read talks about your skill set. And guess what? That is part of giving space to people to tell you to open up.
Okay.
The way you live your life is pretty transparent. And it's important that you have shared values with the people that you're in your relationships with. And I think you do. And I think it's authentic and cool.
This is actually pretty interesting if I think about the idea of when I sit with a client or a potential client, framing it in this way where I'm thinking about holding space for them.
Right.
That's something I've never really thought about before.
I gotcha. And
I'm taking them through my process. Right. I'm getting them from A to B to C to D to E to F to G, right?
Yes.
I've got a very specific process that I like to go through.
Sure.
I'm very, I love scripting. I love systems. I love processes. And that's how I've done it. But what's missing in my process is a deeper personal connection with people. Right? And I think I just discovered right now in real time how I can cultivate that.
Awesome.
With people by thinking about it like that, about holding space for people.
And that's all I'm good at. That is what I'm good at. Yeah. That's what I do.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. When I'm doing a needs analysis of someone, I'm getting to know who they are as a person.
Right.
And that helps me learn how to treat them in my process.
I am too. But mine is more
systematic.
Definitely more systematic and more logic-based.
Sure.
And yours is definitely more emotion-based.
Absolutely.
But I think I just crossed a barrier here.
That's cool.
That I've had in my entire 35-year sales career.
And that's why you joke that you're a hunter, not a farmer. And you joke that I'm a farmer,
I don't joke. That's the truth.
Well, maybe not anymore.
Interesting.
Maybe not now. If you think of it as holding space for someone, that's going to change how you talk to people.
It will.
That's interesting.
Wow.
I like that. It's only $400 an hour to have a session like this with me through Sherwood Austin Solutions.
You're cheap.
I am cheap. Yes.
Well, you can that's the beauty of coaching. I mean, you guys just watched it in real time right here of something that is a very normal part of the coaching process. And why I love coaching people is because when I coach, that's what I do. I hold space for people.
Right.
I just never thought about it with a client, like a home buying, selling, investing client.
That's the whole point of the informal chat that you have with someone.
No, the whole point of the informal chat is to close the appointment on the next appointment.
Well, maybe.
And figure out, I'm filling in blanks. Well, but wow.
Not me.
Wow.
I'm trying to get to know somebody, right? And it's really cool when you're getting to know somebody, you see more opportunity than if you don't get to know them.
Yeah.
because you now know what to look for them.
Yeah.
And that goes for loans, that goes for car sales, that goes for housing, that goes for every kind of sales. If you get to know your customer, you can help solve their problem.
Right. Fully agree. But I definitely just had some kind of breakthrough. And that was interesting. I hope someone else heard that and got something from it too.
I don't want to talk anymore because you have never said that to me on the show, and I don't want to lose it. I want to go out on a high.
Okay.
So, we had a lot of stuff happen during this episode. We talked about the news. We talked about Swelsey, your trailer. I heard somebody else call him something dumb the other day, and I don't know what it was. I don't know what the nickname was, but I like Swelsey. I do. And trailer, that's pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
And then we talked about the state of the world, and then you had an epiphany about your sales process. That's a pretty interesting deal.
It's been a very, very long time since I have had that kind of moment. Coaches, when I hire a coach, they usually get frustrated with me because I don't get a lot of breakthrough. I'm kind of hard to coach.
Yeah.
But you and I just did it right there.
Well, there you go.
Beautiful.
There you have it, and there it is. For Londa, Joanne Sherwood Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, my name is David Austin. We'll see you again next week.